All right. So we're back with another episode of the live mixing and mastering workshop. So today we're just basically going to be finishing up the project that we started last week. So this is a track from an upcoming album from an artist whose name is Jean-François Lamontagne. So he might be joining us tonight actually again. So basically we're just going to wrap this up so we can release this as a single because this is going to be the first single off the album. And yeah, so we want to get that going as soon as possible so we can get the rest of the album out. So instead of chit-chatting like I did last time, I'm going to get straight into it. We're going to start with just listening to this track once again with everything unmuted. So this is something you should do every time you open up a mixing and mastering session. You actually just want to listen to the whole thing, straight through to just make sure that, because let's say it's been a while, you haven't listened to it, you'll actually just pick up on things and you'll start taking notes down. And it's kind of like a debrief. So you're just going to be basically, finding out what we're going to be working on and focusing on today. But I remember that last time, just to kind of like do a little recap, we had basically done drums, bass guitar, rhythm guitar, and what we had left to do is the lead guitar, the piano, the strings, and of course the vocals. So that's going to be like, the vocals is probably going to be the majority of what we're going to be doing today, and that's exactly what I wanted to focus on. So without further ado, let's just listen to this thing and see what we're going to be working on.
I'd be dead by now. I'd be dead by now. Somehow I managed to stay in line. Sidetrack trips upon the time. Some of my folks couldn't believe their eyes. I was dancing a beat. Somehow I managed to stay in line. Cycling trips, choked back tears. Some of my thoughts were way out of line. I was dancing a beat. And I can't see, and I can't speak, and I can't run from anyone. And I can't see, and I can't speak, and I can't run from anyone. I'll be dead by
right, so that's starting to sound pretty good. I mean, we haven't done anything since last time, but we got pretty close last time to finishing this up. One thing for sure I'm thinking of is like those lead guitars, like they definitely gonna have some reverb, and we haven't really played much with the reverb yet, and that's because I usually do that unless there's a specific reason why I wouldn't do that. I usually do it in the sub mixes. That's where I'm gonna add the reverb. You know, unless I want it for like a special effect for one specific guitar, you know, or instrument. The only other thing I notice is this little hole over here. I think maybe it's because the piano is not. First, I want to make sure actually if it's working. Yeah, okay, it's working.
In line.
Very quiet.
Sidetrack trips.
We haven't mixed it yet.
All the time. Some of my photos.
Yeah, okay, so that's why, because everything now is basically louder, but this piano part over here is really quiet. So what we're gonna do is just bring that back to 0. Let's see what that sounds like now.
Managed to stay in line. Sidetrack trips upon the time. Some of my photos believe their eyes.
Okay. Anyways, I'm going to just start mixing it. So we're going to put the EQ first, like usual. Piano, I usually start around 80 hertz. Especially this piano, I don't think there's going to be any like, and even if there were like really low notes, like in a mix like this, I mean, it's just going to clutter it up. So 80 hertz, like 60 hertz maybe, would be perfect. We could leave it at 20K. But one very special EQ move that I learned for piano, and this is like actually makes all the difference if you do it like this, is around 5K. And it might sound excessive, but we're gonna compensate. 12 dB boost, and I know that kind of sounds ridiculous, but then we're gonna bring everything down. So maybe 6 dB. So what we're doing here actually is just bringing everything down in a sense. Everything else down, because a lot of the frequencies that, you know, I'm gonna actually listen to this now to make sure it's we're doing the right thing. But piano, like it's really like the top end, you know, that the stuff that cuts through the mix, it's like around the 5 kilohertz mark. So we're gonna compare that before and after without even compression, and maybe like a part that actually has piano and other instruments and stuff. Okay, so maybe that's what we're gonna do. Maybe just loop like this section over here just to get an idea. Like that. Okay, maybe not the right place. Let's do it the chorus. Okay. Okay, you know what? I'm also going to compress it so we actually get it loud enough. This is partly because, I don't know, this plugin that I'm using, from Arturia V Collection, which is Piano V. Great plugin, but it's the gain is really low. There's also a gain knob on it. Maybe that can help. Aha! So we can get that to 0. And then we'll see if that makes a difference already. Still not very loud, but we're gonna fix that right now. Okay, piano in terms of attack speed. Since this one, I get the feeling it's more of it's there to like highlight certain other melodies. Like in this case, you know, it's playing pretty much the same thing as the guitar part. Let's just confirm. Yeah. So it's basically doubling up the guitar melody. So, and you know, it depends. You don't want to compress too quickly on keys because you're gonna lose the attack, the transient. So in this case, it's gonna be similar to guitar. If I remember correctly, we had done guitars around 11 milliseconds. So this one we're gonna probably do around the same thing. Maybe like, let's try 12.5, and let's try to get about 5 dB of gain reduction. barely hearing it. I don't know if you guys are hearing it, but I'm not. It's not cutting enough. It's not cutting enough. I mean, if we just take the EQ off, you won't hear much of a difference there, but you see how that it just basically turned it from like a dull knife to a sharp knife? Listen to the difference. See, it's still got like some like those warbly kind of like low mid stuff. Now listen to it now. Aha. So it's a start, I mean, but still we're not getting enough. So something I might actually do on the compressor side, since this is kind of like a more of a rock, you know, it's not like, you know, like acoustic, very, you know, like we can, you know, be a little bit more aggressive with the methods that we're using. So I'm going to add a bit of saturation. Okay, so this compressor, the one in the stock Logic compressor, actually has a saturation module. Okay, now we're just soft clipping it, so it gives you a little bit, basically soft clipping like this. It kind of gives you kind of a bit more of like a fuzz, you know, natural sounding type of distortion. So let's listen to it now. Okay, let's put that on and off just so you guys get an idea of what it's doing. See? Maybe that's let's see. Okay. See, that's a little bit more. It's gonna cut just that a little bit more, because right now the problem with the keys is that they're not cutting. So that's what we gotta do. We gotta focus on that right now. Still not cutting enough. And it could be a volume thing, so we're gonna just... See, we have like a little bit, like it actually almost becomes essential now, because we need this piano part to really, you barely hear the fact, like if you wouldn't know, like you probably wouldn't even hear the fact that there's a piano, but it just is adding so much more definition to those, well, to that melody and to just the guitar, you know, like the sound of the guitar. So you guys want to listen to that again, before and after, so with and without. So we're going to start without. Okay, now with. Okay, so that's already a lot better. Reverb is definitely gonna, you know, help further down the line, but right now we just want to like get that going. So even over here, I'm gonna see, now that part becomes too loud.
Upon the time, some of my friends believe their eyes. I was dancing a beat somehow. I managed to stay in line. Choke back tears.
And you see, because of that, we're actually going to be getting into some automation now, because that part. And if you guys have been wondering, if you weren't here last episode, and you're wondering why I'm mixing with like the volume in the compressor and not actually just using the volume fader here, well, you're about to find out why. Is because, see, now we're at 0, and when I'm going to like, you know, basically automate, it's not going to be like, you know, it's not going to be complicated. It's like my reference is going to be 0. So if I'm going to start lower than 0, like, you know, like at the part where we were at over here, it's going back to 0. That's the loudest point. So the loudest point is 0. So if anything, we're just bringing it lower in other parts. So that's, you know, I hope that's making sense. But if it's not, it definitely will once you start actually mixing and mastering, because you're gonna see like, you know, really that's what, to me, these faders are for. They're for automation. Otherwise, you would actually have to create like another bus, you know, just to automate and, you know, have a clean slate, you know, so to speak. So anyways, let's just bring it down. So we're gonna go back to 0 here. Maybe I have to check that out. But anyways, we're gonna go maybe -10 for that first part. I'm gonna go like this. So this is where automation is, you know, necessary. So let's give that a shot. Pretty good. Pretty good balance.
Some of my folks believe their eyes. I was dancing. Somehow managed to stay in line.
Cool. So yeah, we've got already a discussion going on dans les commentaires. Donc yeah. Donc ça a l'air qu'on entend plus le piano maintenant. Donc je suis heureux d'entendre ça. Et ouais. Donc là, la prochaine partie, ça va juste être de vraiment tout équilibrer la partie au complet du piano. Donc du début à la fin. Donc nos niveaux, our levels are set for the highest point. So now we're just going to trim down the parts that need to be quieter. And once that's done, I'm not going to do too much EQing now, because like I said, it was just to, like, you know, basic EQing at first, and then we're going to get into fine tweaking later on. Now I just want to get this piano part like leveled throughout, so it sounds good, you know, so it's mixed basically, and then we can get into the strings perhaps. So let's just, you know, because I have OCD and stuff, let's just try to get that to a nice -10 over here, and then we'll see, you know, later on if we like have to make a little other adjustment, because, you know, you want to have it like the same pretty much as over here. Okay, and then we're going to bring it up like that. This we're going to bring up to 0, and I'm going to see if it's too loud. So let's go play. Okay, it's a bit too loud, so I'm going to bring it a bit lower. Like maybe -5 over here, because it does need to be a bit louder. And just for fun, I'm going to make you guys listen to it with and without EQ. So let's check that out.
We're way out of line. I was dancing a beat, and I can't see, and I can't speak, and I can't run from anyone, and I can't see, and I can't sleep, and I can't run nothing anymore.
I might actually boost a little bit more, maybe around 3 or 25. Let's do 25. Get some nice round numbers going for now. So this is the part we got to bring it back to 0. Okay, so I made an extra little guy over here. It's okay. Always use this little navigator thing to help you align things together if you have trouble. There we go. Okay, so there you see, we got to bring it down. So we're kind of doing like stepping you know, like a ladder basically. So we're gonna bring it. We're gonna bring everything the way it should be at every section, because every section, you know, like has a different kind of dynamic in this tune. So, you know, we really want to bring that out, and that's going to be with the automation. So we're going to get maybe into some of that for the other instruments, but for now, like, you know, we're kind of setting the foundation with the piano. Yeah, see, that was not, see, this is like really fine, fine tweaking kind of work. Gotta really be like precise. Otherwise, we get stuff like, well, like that. And in case, once again, just to, you know, reinforce my point, because, you know, it's what I'm here for. Is like, you see right now, like, let's say I realize later on that like something changed with the keys or whatever with the other instruments, and I'm like, shit, I want to keep this thing I've got going on with the automation, but, you know, I want to bring the levels, like all of it, like globally, you know, I want to bring them down or up. So I can't do it with this fader anymore. You understand? Because it doesn't work, because now if I like, because of the automation, like the second you start automating, this fader becomes like unusable basically. So that's why we go into the compressor and we would like, okay, maybe I'll bring it down 1 dB, you know, and it does it globally. So do that with a compressor. You could even do it with the volume here, and you can also do it with a gain slash trim plugin thing. So that's why. Okay, so let's go back here. But you see, like, this section a bit louder than the previous one. So this one we might bring it to 5 or 6 or something. Hold on a second. This has like 0.01 difference, you know, that's not acceptable. I'm just doing it to mess with you guys. Okay, so or not really not. That's good. It's gonna need a reverb though, because it's missing sustain, you know. I might bring it down over here. Starting here, you know, like I kind of feel like it's a bit like too loud. And that could be partly because of the EQ, you know, like nothing is set in stone, you know, except automation. That's a good one. So you guys got to remember that. Nothing is set in stone but automation. Okay. Better. See, not loud enough here. Right over here. So you see, like, you know, because these are the choruses basically, and you know, like that's a general tendency in music, right? Is that the chorus is the loudest part. So yeah, so if you're gonna pick a reference, you know, for amplitudes and stuff, which is a fancy way of saying volume, kind of, chorus, you know, so like chorus, everything like 0, like your 0 dB is like your chorus is like loudest point, and everything else down from there. Hope that made sense. So we're gonna bring it down. I'm gonna bring it down right over here. Okay, so maybe like this, and Maybe more like, you know, I'm just feeling it out here, -8. Let's see what that does. But you see, like, for this one, it's special. I hear it like maybe it starts like louder and you have like a downward, like, you know, like a decrescendo kind of thing. So in that case, we can kind of go like this and see what that sounds like. But it's too high, so we're gonna make another one. Something like that. Just the first note. I could have also changed the velocity, but you know, we don't always have that luxury, you know, because we're not always working with MIDI, but maybe try that. Maybe like -5. I think it's gonna be good. Yeah. See, like, let's just listen to the difference. It's very subtle, but like, listen to the difference. I think I could undo that. Yeah, perfect. So we're gonna listen to it. Well, technically, I would have had to show you guys if it was like this. Let's listen to this. You see how it's kind of flat now? And if I go like this, it's better. Whoa. I don't remember that being there. Okay, let's listen to this. You know, just to help us hear sometimes, like I might just move it like the exact same reverb to the submix after, but now, you know, because I need to hear it, because I get the feeling like this was meant to be heard. I don't remember if there was a reverb. There probably was, you know, obviously. So we deconstructed this thing. So that's it. Now we got to reconstruct it. So for reverbs, I mean, I always, especially with this plugin, I always start with a preset and I'll just tweak it, because especially in the rooms, because it gives you an idea at least of what kind of, you know, sound you're going for. See, if we go for a clean big room, then we could just increase the size of the room, which is already pretty big. And then we go maybe like, well, maybe it's got a little bit too much attack, so we're gonna do that. I'm not even sure if that's supposed to be there, if it's some sort of computer glitch thing. I don't know. I get the feeling I'm gonna have to make an executive decision here and potentially remove that, you know, because yeah. Like for effect, maybe the hits are not so bad, but let me get out of the automation window. Maybe give me like 50% reverb. How about that? Nah, I'm gonna make the executive call and remove it. Sorry. It's still saved. We can always bring it back later, but for now, like especially this one. And maybe it's not supposed to be there. We'll find out later on. Donc, si t'es toujours là, Jean-François, tu me diras si ça c'était supposé être là, mais moi personnellement, je dis que non. Je sais, je comprends un peu comme l'effet, mais it's a little too much. There you go. Okay, now we go back. Whoops. Now we go back to automating. See, already with the reverb, it sounds like much better. So this one, yeah, we need more juice. And you know, piano sometimes we might actually parallel compress it. Yeah, that I said parallel compress. Jesus, I was saying the exact same thing. It's multi-band compression. I always get them confused. You guys know from last episode. But yes, what I mean is multi-band compression. So piano and multi-band compression go hand in hand. And I might actually, I'm thinking about it right now, that little EQ move I did there, like I might actually replicate it on the multi-band compressor instead. Right? So just remind me, guys. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to remember. Let me just finish this, and I think we're good. See where it goes up. Yeah, it sounds like. So we're gonna add measure 91, bring it up another notch. And at the very least, even if I'm not super duper precise right on with what I'm trying to do, well, I mean, I am trying to. At least these are kind of notes. At least we understand like how the dynamics are evolving, and we can always fine tweak the actual levels later on. But we have the steps, you know. This part's gonna have to get louder. So yeah, maybe during the solo we can bring it up to the top. And you know, honestly, like what I should have done is mute the vocals. So we're just doing the instrumental first, you know, that's a little, it's not the end of the world. I mean, we're mixing. It's not like this is like a live performance. Oh wait, it kind of is. I'm not kidding. But anyways, so, you know, we don't want to always, you know, like instrumental, it's better like to get the vocals out of the way. You know, we do that last. We just do that last. Because that's the way it's done. Okay. Let's try this out. Getting close to the reverb. That's close to the sound I'm going for, but it's not exactly it. We're gonna tweak it later, but for now it was just the you know, for the sake of having reverb, just to, you know, sometimes you'll want to do that when you're mixing. You add some stuff just, you know, to please your ear while you're working on it. That's a good reference, you know, always the chorus, you know, back to zero. Okay. It's tedious stuff, automation, but it's so important, you know, like it's what really will make the difference, you know, between like a, well, I'm not gonna say amateur, but like, you know, like intermediate level sounding mix to like pro, like it's the automation. That's part of it. Skip a little bit, like maybe -5, something like that. Okay, so piano, like for now, we're gonna leave it alone. Gonna leave that alone. We're gonna go out. And yeah, we're not gonna listen to it right now. We're gonna obviously end up listening to it multiple times throughout the night. So, anyways, the next thing that I spoke about last time is the strings. Well, this case is a sample replacement. So we got like the stock Logic strings that are cute and all, you know, but we're gonna replace them with East-West strings, Hollywood strings, because you know we're going, you know, for the big screen kind of sound, not the you know, I'm not gonna get into this stuff. Okay, so let's just put the strings on. You guys came to see me work, or maybe not. I don't know. But let me know in the comments if you just want to see me just say weird things on camera. Okay, so let's Hollywood strings gold. And actually, shit, I should have actually just listened. Okay, perfect. I want to listen. I just want to listen to this. Oh, I think I know what it is. Okay, so it's a sustained. Is that a staccato thing? It's like a trill. Is it notated like that? Let's find out. No, it's probably just an articulation thing. Okay, let's see what these sound like. It's tremolo. I was trying to figure out what the articulation was. It's tremolo. But that one's different. So it's very simple in that case. Oh, I think that's what that sound was. Let's find out. Oh, that's cool. Okay, I might actually just leave it then. Never mind. Maybe not this one. Maybe not this one. Ah, shit, I muted all of it. I'm not sure about this one. Okay, but I want to, I'm hearing voices, you know, and I'm not hallucinating. It's weird, eh? It's very weird. It's very weird. Okay, let's see what, okay, first of all, like, we gotta clear this stuff out. Yeah, because these are sends. Sometimes you gotta go all over the place, but only sometimes. For the most part, when you're mixing and mastering, should be like organized. It's very hard to actually make it like that, you know. You just gotta think. Okay, this is important because this is actually for the drums. Okay, so okay, now we should be good. Let's see if we got it. Got rid of it. Okay. So. Okay, now perfect. Now I'm gonna put this back because I want to see what it sounds like. Nah. I'm gonna mute it. Honestly, that's cool because it's like an effect. But this, I don't even know. It either should continue or it should just. So I'm having a hard time just hearing it like that. Say anything, they should continue there. But for now, I'm going to mute it because we're not composing, we're mixing, mastering. So whatever like bothers me, I'm going to mute it for now, and we'll in the revision, you know, because this won't be 100% done tonight. I'm obviously going to be sending this to Jean-Francois. He's going to listen to the final mix, and he's going to give me his pointers, you know, and you guys are not going to see that, you know, or hear that. You're going to only hear the final product. So this is the last time you're going to hear this before we actually release it. So make sure to get your fill tonight. Okay, so the strings, they're fine. So let's just mix them. EQ, strings, since these are like, I don't know, like violin, viola range. I guess they're violins, let's find out. Yep, so violins, you can really go like heavy. You can go like 100 hertz, if not more. But yeah, we leave that and we'll leave it like that for now. We put the compressor on. Oh yeah, it's true, the piano. I said I was gonna put the multi-band compression. I almost said it again. I almost said parallel compression again. Okay, but strings, especially in this case, since they're like tremolo, you know, like you definitely want to have that that attack. So we're gonna leave it, you know, maybe at 20, maybe 19. I feel like we didn't do 19 yet. So remember, like, you don't want to have like your attack of all your compressors set to the same thing. You know, you want to try to stagger everything so everything kind of does like this accordion of compression, if that makes any sort of sense to you guys. But it's okay if you have a couple of things that are on the same, we'll say, like, you know, speed. Okay, but let's just loop and try to get those to pop a little bit more. Since it's an effect too, we can kind of get like a distortion maybe going. Aha, see, it's better. Okay, let's listen to it before. See how weak it sounds now? Now. There we go. So that's it. It's that simple. But the piano, going back to the piano, okay, chromoverb is cool. Okay, so channel EQ, we're gonna maybe just remove this, bring this back to this. And this is what I was talking about before. We're gonna keep the compressor. And this multi-band compressor is only going to work on the high end. So we're gonna do a 2-band, or we can just do recall default. I guess that's default. Okay, fine. Let's just put a 2-band. Okay, so like about like this. Let's just put it back to around 5. And so you see it's not even doing anything in that low range. It's just the top one. And I'm gonna go heavy on it. I want like 10 dB about a gain reduction here. You hear the difference now a lot better. Listen to it before. Okay, now with. It's a lot more in your face. Okay, so anyways, in terms of release, set these guys to 150. Okay, so we're gonna put the, that's fine, it's the attack time. The ratio, okay, that's pretty low. 4, that's probably why. So we set it to 4. That's like way too much. Okay, so that's cool. And see, after we can actually just compensate by down. Don't be afraid to play around sometimes, just to hear what things sound like. But this is what essentially what we're removing, you know, is all this clutter. See how this stuff just kind of clutters up the mix? Like, it doesn't really add anything. So when it comes to piano, everything we need is in that 5K to 20K range. See how that just brought it out? I might just leave it. I might just leave it. So listen to this. That actually helped a lot to make it cut, so we might actually have to bring everything lower. Another thing too, I don't know if I have auto gain. Okay, that's a problem. There we go. That's a oh, okay. Well, see, that's a mistake there. You know, like that's what happens when you use presets sometimes. You see, you know, like you don't know what's going on, but auto gain, like, never use that stuff, guys. Never use that stuff. Okay, back. Listen to that again. There we go. It's sitting a little bit tighter in the mix, so we're good. There we go. So that's, you know, if you remember what I said last time, Multiband compression is also referred to as dynamic EQ. So it's not just a static, we're boosting, like it'll depend, like it's kind of like a hybrid of a compressor and an EQ. So we get better results that way, more control. And already you see I find it sounds better this way than it did with the way it did before, with just boosting, so you get even more specific, the frequencies, the timbre, that we're trying to add to this. Like without it, it sounds empty, but when we put the piano back in, we're targeting specifically the range that we want to add. Okay, so that's what mixing is all about, picking and choosing. So strings are good, piano's good. This little piano clip, we didn't even do anything to it. So I'm going to EQ it, and I'm going to put a compressor. Actually, I'm going to put the exact same stuff as the other one. Yeah, yeah. What I'm thinking of is because, like, they don't sound exactly the same, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. I'm sure it'll be fine. Because this is like a bounce. So actually, I don't know about the reverb. It's okay. We'll try it out, see what it sounds like. First, before jumping to conclusions. Maybe a little bit of a timing issue there, but anyways, volume of this is too loud. Bring it down. We'll see how it's. That's another problem. And we're gonna not do that. So another thing, sometimes you want to just solo specific to, like, maybe two instruments, just to blend those two together. It's crazy because it almost has like a, it's recorded like a vintage, tape recorded sound, but that's the effect. Might have to, work that out in revisions there, but staying focused. Okay, let's see how much time we're in. Okay, so we're about an hour in, so want to leave most of that hour for vocals. So let's go into the lead guitars now. So now we're just gonna go here and bring everything in. Oh, that was it. Okay, so we're gonna just mix the lead guitars. I don't want to say quick, but yes, quick. So remember what I did last time is I put the amp at the top. Pedals first. The order is important, guys. The order is important. But this is a preset. Huh. Okay, so pedals. A lot of cleaning up. So this, if you guys got any questions, si vous avez des questions, like, now is the time. While I'm doing this tedious stuff. But arguably, I guess you could argue that the whole thing is tedious, depending how you feel about mixing and mastering. I personally kind of like it. But, I guess we all wish we could just spend more time on actually making music than, getting it to sound good. If it could just sound good, by itself, I wouldn't complain. Okay, so let's see. Let's get the rhythm guitars, and we're gonna of sneak peek. But the channel EQ for the lead guitar, maybe we can cut at 100 hertz. It's leads, you know. And already, like I remember before, we heard some stuff like, you know, like when the solo comes in, like the guitar solo, like it's too loud, you know, that might be automation or it might actually just be the level of the thing that we have to adjust. But yeah. Oh my God. Okay, it's okay. But amazing solo. I love this guitar solo. It's so good. Can't wait to finish mixing it so we can hear it as a whole. Can't wait to release this track. Okay, so here we are. Let's do it. Here, I'm gonna recopy again the compressors just because we want more sustain on these lead guitars. I'm gonna cut maybe at 6 milliseconds. Should have just done this one instead. Okay, so where am I? It's 6 milliseconds. That's the time, the attack speed. So we're getting rid of some transient. It depends, right? It depends. I might adjust it on each individual one at some point, but like generally, you know, lead guitars, you want more sustain, you know, like the pick attack's important, but we can, you know, boost that in EQ around the 1K, 2K mark. You know, that's where you get your pick attack, you know, all the schlackety schlack stuff. But anyways, for now, this is our okay, so I know, let's just do that a bit. One at a time. It's big. We're gonna have to do some EQing. This one could be a bit lower, maybe. Right, the problem now is that I forgot to set everything back to 0. But it's okay, because all this stuff is pre-fader, so it should be fine. Okay. Okay, so now we've got to just find the other, like these ones, for example. Oh, could maybe do some noise reduction on that after. Yeah. That one was nice with a little bit of extra saturation. Yeah, I like it better like that. Okay, and then there was these two guys at the beginning, which they're just this. Ah, well, that's the ones we were having issues with at the beginning, so let's just go right into it. It's fine. See that cutting out stuff? We're gonna have to smooth it out potentially, but hold on. Maybe we can boost a little bit this one. Okay, and then this last one. Yeah, like that's gonna require some denoising. Schlackety schlack. Yeah. We're inventing a new language as we go along. All right, let's listen to that. at this point, I'm gonna actually, one thing with the piano I'm starting to notice is it's the bass. Like I should have actually cut a little bit more, so we're gonna go 100 hertz. And yeah, I want to just solo now. Drums, para, bass, and do we have rhythm guitar here? Yeah, okay, so like that, and the lead guitar. So like just so we can, or maybe without even drums, without even the drums. So this is kind of like a quartet we got going on here. So let's just mix the quartet. Starting with this one. So we bring them all down. Bring them all down for now. And then okay, cool, but now I just want to like get this thing going. Let's see if we got some more meat. Aha, we do have some more meat. Not any more than that. Not really sure about that. Maybe we can do that and we can just fade it out. Maybe we just one of them. Maybe we just do like that. Fade out. Why, some of them already have one? Let's see. This one has a fade out. Very aggressive one. Okay, so let's try with, I don't know, like 1,000. But without this, let's just try. Hold on. Which one's the one with the pixel? Ah, that's better. How about this? Let's try that. But this guy needs a bit more. A little too sudden. Yeah, problem. Well, it's not a problem. Just this compressor. Bring him back to 0. Okay, let's try that out. Much better. Yeah. There we go. I like that. Sounds better now. Okay, the whole guitar solo. Let's listen to it. So yeah, just to recap what I did there, actually what I should do also is give it a little bit of a fade in. But like, you know, like the fade ins, literally talking about, okay, hold on, lead guitar. Like at the beginning of your audio clips, you know, we're talking about like between 0 and 5, you know, just to, you know, make it smooth, to smooth out the fade in. Maybe we could add more. And you could also have curves on these ones. We're gonna zoom in and I'm gonna show you guys, but hold on. See, that barely makes the difference, but hold on, let's just zoom in. So you can actually see the thing. Oh, okay, and this one has a curve already. You see, so you can actually, you know, make it more artistic and stuff. So this one, I'm actually gonna go maybe like -10. Because, you know, like a straight line is not as pleasing, you know, to the ear. You're not gonna see it because it's too, hold on. I don't even know which one I'm editing this one. Let's just do like a -10 also. Okay, and same thing with this one. Okay. Well, like especially with this one, you can make it like, you know, like really like to get rid of the noise and stuff if ever you have noise. Okay, let's see, like that. Do we have some meat back here? Oh, okay, that's something. Okay, so like sometimes also give yourself some meat. And you see it here, instead of doing that, actually, sometimes it's better to just, I don't know, let's go back to 100 and just cut it. I think I know why you cut it, so. Yeah, right on the bar, maybe. Yeah, you get more of that transient, if that's what we're going for, but let's see. What we could do for these two is do like a really like big fade in. Something like that. That's, I'm maxed out. But I like it. Yeah, let's give that a shot in context. In context. this is where we're getting to a point where reverb would definitely help blend things together, and so with global EQ on the actual sections, you know. So like rhythm guitar is gonna have its own EQ, and lead guitar is gonna have its own kind of like master EQ, because they're starting to clash. There's a lot of guitars, a lot of like similar kind of, so you know, like there's a lot of clutter actually in the guitar section. So if we just solo like just the guitars, rhythm and the lead. So I'm already gonna add some EQ globally. I'm gonna start doing some moves. And in this case, it's gonna be like still basic, especially on the sub mixes. Like this is not where like much of the fine tweaking, you know, like the fine tweaking, I'd rather do it on the individual tracks. This, it's like, for example, I just wanna like, I'm hearing more of a scooped kind of a sound. So we can already scoop maybe like around like 500. And listen to what that sounds like here. That's kind of what I want to get rid of. So. Since we're talking rhythm guitar, maybe like. So we're darkening it up a little bit because it's the lead guitar we really want. See how that just made a lot of space? So now I can actually take the lead guitar and bring it down in volume. Here I'm actually adding a bit of fatness, you know, to the lead. guys hear the difference. How cluttered it sounds right now. So kind of how we boosted the definition and the lead guitar, and how the rhythm guitar is like basically now it sounds like a bit thinner, like it's got less conundrum going on. It's just more, it's a bit, like on its own maybe sounds a bit more boring, but it's, it's too much. It's too much harmonics, with the distortion. So that's why, we had to clean that up a little bit. Already that mix is a lot better. And I'm just gonna, check these out because I see like gaps. Okay, sounds not too bad. I'm still gonna, yeah, it's okay. Just gonna make sure that there's a fade out. Yeah, there's no fade out. So here, like you see, that's the kind of situation where you see a little gap like that. You want to add like a little fade out, little fade in, little crossfade. I don't know if I could actually even kind of bring them together, see if that makes better. It's better to do that than to leave a gap. They're little details, but it really makes a big difference in the end. Okay, so this one fade in 5. And same thing, like basically what we're doing here is we're crossfading. That's what it's called, crossfading the clips. And it's important. And I could have just done it all at once there, but it's because I'm that efficient. Okay, so same thing over here, fade in. We're gonna have to check the fade outs. Okay. Okay. Ah. Okay. We have another guest that just joined us, which is cool. So I always fade in around like I put 5 when it's just like literally just to smooth out the the transition where it cuts. It's just like it's barely there, but because you don't want to do too much, because otherwise then it becomes too noticeable. And see, these clips are overlapping. Yeah. So fade out. I don't know why there's a star on it, but because I'm selecting more than one. Okay, so that should be pretty good. Cleaning it up. This one needs a little fade in. There we go. Okay, solo section. Listen to it again. Yeah. I had a problem with that actually, so I'm gonna. Yeah, it's cool that it goes into the tack 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 tack, but like it's the fade out is not right. It's not right, so we're gonna fix that. See, these are like little things, but they're so important. Super duper important. So let's reset these fade outs, because I want to see what I'm working with. Okay, definitely going to be fading out, but let's try maybe start with 25. And curve, I'm going to curve it like that. Okay, maybe 5,000 instead. There, that's a lot better. It's not quite there, but it's a lot better. Okay, for now it's good. So that's fine. And we're not quite done. There's another lead guitar part, 2 of them actually. So let's just move on. So when in doubt, number 5. So tedious, but we have to double check every little thing. Yeah, just with a fade out. See, when it just cuts like that, that's like not acceptable. We gotta make a smooth transition. Maybe this one. Yeah, so it's okay. Let's get this thing out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. And we're gonna take a fade out over here. Maybe 100, and we're gonna curve it. Okay. Better. Let's work on this one. Maybe this one's gonna be like 1,000. And like that. Let's try 750. It's a little too sudden, that's the problem. So maybe in that case, I'll just go 2,000. Okay, that sounds better. Okay, cool. Together. Cool. With reverb, that's going to be cool. Yeah, and I was starting to put the reverb actually. So let's put it on. Then Studio is like my default for everything because it's just like a very like neutral sounding reverb. I kind of like that preset because it's a good place to start from, you know? Okay. I feel like this one could be a bit louder. Okay. Again, from here, okay, just lead and rhythm. And while I'm at it, fade in 5. And we got to fade out again. Nice. Aha, see, I don't like that. Too abrupt. Let's do 5,000. Nice round numbers, and we go -10. So we get the upwards curve. Or whatever. That could be actually even longer. Okay, cool. Of course, we're gonna have to listen to everything in context. Maybe instead of 5,000, we can do like 7,500. It's a bit messy, that's why. Like, it's got like some... But it's okay, you know, for now. Okay, zoom out. Everything in context. Let's just listen to this section with everything. Yeah, a lot better, that transition. With these two though. Yeah, now I understand why I did. It's a little too messy. Okay, let's bring it back to 5,000. And guys, notice that I actually brought the gain up here instead. It's because I'm actually trying to slam it more into the compressor, just this part. So it's actually because it'll kind of like distort a little bit more. It'll sound more like you know, the intensity is rising instead of like putting the volume up. This way we get a little bit more saturation. So gain staging, you know. Maybe over here. It's okay. Yeah, I would like it to last a little bit longer. Let's try half, then... Nah, that ending is a bit rough. Yeah, it's a... Or what if we just remove the fade out period? Yeah, much better. And the reverb will do the trick. Yeah. Okay, so lead guitar, chroma verb. I might do something like this and like that. Maybe just 500. It's better. But not quite there yet. It's too abrupt. We might double that one up with some automation too. I'm gonna put it back like this. 500 sounded best. It's just actually this part. Or maybe from there. Okay, we're gonna have to fix that up after. But right now there's about a half hour left and I really want to do vocals. So we're gonna do vocals. So, okay. So, you know, this one's a toughie. It's a lot of tracks. I mean, like, look at this, guys. Look at this. So we're gonna actually just pretty much delete everything except those pedals. Let's see. We're gonna keep the pedals. What is on there? Spring box, spring reverb. I guess maybe we can keep him. Guess we could maybe keep him. But everything else gotta go. That and maybe the tape delay and everything else we're gonna like reset. And you know, we can leave these last, so it's all right. Okay. How's the okay. So let's bring that up to the max. Let's start cleaning up these vocal tracks. Another thing I had to do actually is kind of like start separating them. Did I already do it? By lead and you know, lead vocals and backup vocals. Identify them, but the first thing we're gonna do is just, like I said, just clean up. So let's do that. And then I'm gonna show you guys how to use auto-tune in a way that is actually like tasteful, you know, to actually as a mixing tool. Does that work? No, it doesn't work. As a mixing tool. And not as a thing to make yourself sound like T-Pain or something. So we're gonna do that in just a bit. Speaking of which, you know, I'm actually just gonna start with that. We're gonna just bypass all of these plugins because the first thing we want to do is we want to just, because it's important actually that all the vocals are in tune. No kidding, right? But like for the mix, you know, actually for the mix, because it cuts better and it sits better and it makes when, you know, especially when harmonies, you know, they're actually, you know, they're like nice, like if they were like a little bit untuned and then auto-tune, like just a slight, you know, like subtle amount of auto-tune, like will actually make it sit better. But so you guys are just gonna have to hear that. So we're gonna have to solo them out. And getting a little bit tired, but it's okay. We're gonna get through this. Last thing, universal audio, auto-tune real time advanced. So this is actually the universal audio version of it. Let's see, alto tenor, key, C chromatic, because I'm not quite sure what key it's in. So I'm just gonna solo that part out and like we're gonna set our reference with basically this. What's wrong? It's because they're muted.
I'd be dead by not be dead by not be dead by not be dead by not.
So it's already doing its magic.
Dead by not be dead.
See if you put it too fast, it sounds horrible. I recommend 100 for the tuning speed. Before, after. Okay. So that just proves to me already that, you know, like this is necessary. And it's going to be pretty simple. That is actually just do some visual inspecting of the gain. So I'm going to do that. And that might take a little bit of a I don't want to say a while there because, but yes, it's gonna take maybe questions, concerns, comments. Got the chat. I see what you guys are writing down there. Don't you worry. And yeah, it's because like once we bounce it in place, yeah, we can make changes after, but I'm gonna have to like cut, different sections and stuff to kind of. So I like to start with like everything kind of like leveled, like another way of putting that is or calling that is normalizing. Well, not really. Actually, it's not normalizing. It's kind of like I'm compressing, basically. This is what a compressor does, what I'm doing right now. But I'm trying to like actually get a little bit of it, you know, done before it actually gets to the compressor. So our compressor could work more efficiently. So if our tracks are nice and leveled like that, this I think is an effect. So I'm going to leave it. Uh, yeah. So we're just kind of like basically, nothing's permanent when it comes to volumes. Like, so we can always just go back later if anything. But right now, I'd rather see everything like, you know, more or less the same. Let's see. Like that. I said some of these, they look kind of like, like they were done intentionally. Maybe not this. Leave that alone. Okay. See, sometimes we have automation, like, well, I always find automation on these projects, and then it's like, sometimes they could have just been fixed by doing this. So that's why I'd rather do this, and then if we have to automate, then we automate. But at least if this is done, it'll get rid of a lot of like useless maneuvers, and that's what counts. Okay. Because essentially, like I said, we're going to be bouncing these tracks in place with the auto tune. And the reason that is because of universal audio. And, like I don't have enough DSP, and like, look, we're not going to get into like why universal audio is the way they are. But yes, like I could only like load about 2 instances of auto tune at one time. And it absolutely has to be using the DSP of my audio interface. So yeah, it's kind of yeah, tedious, but that's why maybe you guys might actually be better off. Like auto tune real time there is really cool for like if you're using it in real time, but if you're like as in you're recording with it, but if you're going to be using it in post, you might actually want to pick up just like the actual like auto tune, not from universal audio. It's just a little word of advice. Okay, see, like this is like way too loud. Okay. Yeah, okay. So these are okay down here. Uh maybe these like +1. Don't want to go too intense. Otherwise, especially if you're not listening to what you're doing, like now it's just a visual inspection. Like I'm just doing it quickly because time is of the essence. But yeah, normally you want to take your time. But every little bit helps. So for now, I think it's all right. If there's any problem, like I said, the compressor is going to get a lot of this stuff too. And, automation, obviously, then we're going to get into that. But, you know, number one is boom. Let's set all this stuff back to 0. Do I even have any automation? No, good, perfect. I think I deleted everything on episode 1. Okay. It's a lot of vocal tracks. A lot of vocal tracks. Would have been nice to show you guys what it sounds like. Maybe we can actually. If I could have just bounced maybe just just the vocals like all together, like the way they are now without autotune, and then so we can compare with like once I autotune each individual one and like what those sound like together. But they're gonna be there actually. They're gonna be there. So we can do that. So for now, let's just
I'd be dead.
So basically it's pretty simple. It's just select this entire line and you do bounce in place. I guess we can call it that. It's fine. Source, we mute it. Yeah, okay, I guess that works. Okay, boom. And yeah, so basically like that's the auto tune setting we're going to be using for every single track. So I'm just going to be basically moving the plugin from track to track. And that's that. Might take a while. Once again, this is the time to ask questions or to say silly things in the comments. Donc, n'hésitez pas à me poser des questions parce que ça risque d'être un petit peu long. So yeah, so you see what it's doing? It's balancing it in place. Yeah, perfect. So we only got to do this like, 30 times. Very inefficient, you know. At this point, I might actually like purchase an auto tune. Well, still, it would take a lot of like CPU resources. So to a certain extent, you know, like this is the way to go. Either way, but you know, like, okay, did it not mute the? I guess it's not muting them. Okay. So same thing. So in reality, like this is basically the most important thing I wanted to show you guys. I know you're not here and you probably won't be able to hear. Well, we'll try to do a little demo actually. We'll try to do a little demonstration so you can hear actually what it's doing. Okay, bounce in place, why is it not source? Whatever. What the difference is like with this like very subtle auto tune on and like with it not on, especially in the context of the mix, how it just helps the vocals just sit tight. And so we're almost there. We're almost there. That's what I like to tell myself. And yeah, so there's nothing that special to vocals. I mean, obviously there's the basic, channel EQ and compression. And we'll have to actually see if it's an issue in this one, but de-essing, like the plugin known as the de-esser, which gets rid of the sibilance, which the microphone that I'm using actually has a lot of it. So Sennheiser MKH416 has like a really like kind of like excessively brilliant. The reason probably why that microphone does have like an exaggerated you know, like sparkly top end, to the point where it's actually irritating when it's not in a microphone capsule. So the reason they did it is because like this microphone, since it's a boom mic, you know, and it's used on like sets and stuff, outdoors, whatever. Um, they, you know, it's to compensate for the fact that when you put it in a microphone capsule, it actually, you know, it doesn't, you know, like then it sounds normal. So, but all that to say that yes, we might have to use a bit of de-essing, or maybe not. If this was recorded with like a dynamic microphone, which it was, that's why it sounds good, despite the fact that it was done inside of Jean-Francois's apartment, is because it was done with a dynamic microphone. And dynamic microphones, in regards to top ends, they're like not like condenser microphones, so they're, you know, sibilance is not as much of an issue. So, but yes, sometimes you might have to use de-esser. De-esser is just a compressor. It's kind of like a multi-band compressor, but it works on a specific band of frequencies, which is like, you know, the really like, the, you know, between 5 and 20K, or like maybe not even 20K, like between 5 and 12. I don't remember there, but we'll check it out later if we have some time and if we even need to. But yeah, I wish I could say we're halfway there, but sadly we're not. Okay, let's see how much. Okay, we're running out of time. God damn. It's okay. We're gonna get through this. Maybe I could at least just show you guys what it sounds like up until now. Since might as well.
I'd be dead by now.
Let's just listen to that first section.
I'd be dead by now.
Okay, and then let's reverse it. That's the bottom part.
I'd be dead by now.
Okay, maybe let's tune 14 to 16. Shit. Okay. Well, that's a bit of a downer. A bit of a. I should have actually just zoomed out. So, anyways, so yeah. Yeah. Good thing we stopped now, because yeah, that would have been really bad if we would have continued all the way till the end and realized that we missed a good chunk of it. So yeah, I'm gonna just not bore you guys. I'm gonna just do like that part so we can actually hear what it sounds like. Let's do 14. Just let's tune this first part. But all this to say that if you're gonna be using autotune, you don't want to be aggressive with it. It has to be subtle, and obviously the performance should be like pretty close to there from the start. In this case, it's actually pretty good. Like, it doesn't sound like horrible like to my ear. Like, it sounds like, well, that's an understatement. It sounds really good. Like, the vocals are really well recorded. And the performance is great. So like, you see that when you just add a little bit of autotune, it's just, especially those harmonies, those like long sustained kind of parts, it just helps them like sit better in the mix. And I've probably repeated that at least 5 times, but good. It's exactly what this is all about. Okay. We're almost there. We've almost reached the end. But yeah, I would have loved to show you guys the sub mixes. You know what? I might just go a little bit into overtime here because the sub mixes is pretty damn important. And I mean, it's not like I have not done an entire course on mixing and mastering, which is available. I should have actually put the link in the description, but if you go on decibelpeak.com and you click on Academy, like there it is. It's like $19.99. It's basically me mixing and mastering an entire song from scratch, one of my own. And yeah, it's basically what I'm doing right now. And you get like everything, you get all the information. I'm just repeating myself now, and I'm doing this, you know, partly because it's good practice for me, and I'm promoting a really freaking awesome artist. And soon we will be actually featuring the music of other other artists. Actually, I sent it out in the email today in the newsletter, you know, announcing that doing this live stream, and now I've already got people like, you know, that want their music to be featured on the next episode. So that's gonna happen. We're gonna be mixing and mastering your music live. So it's gonna be really exciting because you're gonna get a free mix and master, and you're gonna get some free attention, you know, from the peanut gallery. So that's really cool. But yeah, it's the same thing over and over again, basically. But the course, at least, you know, it's a little bit more organized. That's the difference. This, it's like very like long, you know, like sometimes, you know, it's live streaming, I'm improvising, you know, there's a lot of like parts that are just like boring or whatever. Like, but the course, it's like nicely put together. There's like supporting materials to it, you know, presets you can download, and, you know, so definitely check it out. Helps me, it helps you, and makes the world go around. So let's just listen to, like, that was so long, you know, just for like 3 freaking tracks. Okay, but let's listen to it now. Okay, now let's do, no, not like that. Let's swap him out. Was it 13? No, it was the other way around. 16. Okay. But anyways, you guys get the point. It's very subtle, but in the mix, it'll make a difference. So, okay. So the sub mixes, like for now, we'll actually, because the vocals is a big job, and hopefully some of you guys' music that are going to be submitting to this show are going to have vocals and a bit less, so we can actually get it done inside like, you know, 2 hours. But for now, like, we're gonna just mute the vocals because they have to be organized too. And anyways, we're gonna just do the sub mixes for the instruments, for the instrumental, because the instrumental is done. So sub mixes are already created. We did that last episode. Okay, so we got channel EQ. So this chroma verb, I'm gonna put the one that I usually put as default. Just that, like, I just like laying it out. And yeah, I apologize if that was a, I don't know, maybe that was like 15 minutes of like just like rambling and like wasting time. But yeah, anyways, now we're back on track, giving you guys a little bit extra. And yeah, I just want to show you basically that and the mastering. How about that? And how about that? So chroma verb, like I said, just like that. Then studio 10%, just to like, you know, have a little bit of something there. But I'm obviously going to be tweaking. So let's leave the vocals alone for now. The sub mixes for that. Channel EQ wise, so this is the drum. Don't know where I cut my kick drum. So you go back, you find your lowest point. So it cuts at 60 hertz. So the one on the sub mix is the same thing. You cut at 60 hertz, 20K because of the cymbals. The lowest and the highest point if you have multiple instruments. And then after that we can fine tweak later on. So that's that. Bass, I'm pretty sure was at 40 if I'm not mistaken. Let's open it up. Where are you, bass guitar? Okay, so I'm pretty sure, yeah, 40 hertz. Okay, so bass. Nope, that is not the right thing. 40 hertz and 10K. Okay, and piano was 80. Actually, I did 100. String is 100. But to be honest, it could probably be more, but we'll figure that out later. Okay, now the secret sauce is a plugin called Wolf Compressor. That's just my style. It's what I like. I think this plugin, well, I mean, depends on the genres, right? But I mean, it's kind of like the auto-tune of compression in a sense. So you want to like not overuse it and abuse it. You want to just kind of like be like subtle. So, oh my God, it's already making noise. So I like this preset. It's kind of like my dense studio of like Wolf Compressor. It's just my default go-to thing, and I do this to it. And I do that. And I just put it on everything before, and then we tweak afterwards. This is just to give you an idea of what it sounds like now. And this plugin, it breathes life into the music, okay? Like it really makes a difference. So this is just like default things. It's just very basic stuff, but already you're gonna hear. And we're gonna be able to mix a little bit just like this. So let's just listen to it now. Or let's listen to like from the verse 1.2. Show you guys what it sounds like without it. A lot more meat. So I find the kick drum's a little bit too loud. Really helps the bass come out. Actually, I kind of did a mistake here. It's not supposed to happen. Oh, you know what? As a matter of fact, it sounds so much better like that. Bass is a bit too loud, I find, so Yeah. If anything, this should have sustained a bit longer. Yeah, it's better like that. Okay, bass, fade out, go into the -10 because that'll be better. Stretch it out. Okay, cool. Can this go longer? No. I'm gonna fade that out with automation. And then we have a really cool tool in here called the automation curve tool. Like that. Cool. Okay, we're getting there. So that's like not even with the mastering. So now, do we have a little bit of time for mastering? Let's make a little bit of time for mastering. It's obviously not going to be finished, and I'm going to be bypassing all these plugins, when I'm going to be fixing this up because we're not done. But so first thing in my mastering chain, I have a preset that I made myself, but I'm gonna just show you guys step by step. We're gonna go into EQ and we're putting a linear phase EQ. Takes a little bit more CPU, but it is more transparent than the standard channel EQ in Logic. So we're gonna work with that again in a bit. I'm just gonna put all the plugins down first and kind of like set them to their default. Okay, so this is gonna be the multipressor, and we're gonna leave that the way it is for now, but turn the auto gain off. Okay. And then next, I have a Wolf compressor. They have a mastering preset actually. Yep. Master bump. Set it super low. Like mastering is about subtlety. Like you don't want to do like anything drastic. It already sounds pretty good. You just want to maybe even less compression than that. And we had a chroma verb and a preset I like to use in the mastering. It's called Golden Gate. 80s Golden Gate. It's super flat and everything, and I just put it to like 10%. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Am I forgetting anything? Don't think so. Okay. So, oh yeah, the loudness meter, which we're not gonna need like right away. Let's see. It is, where is it? Yulin. This one's free, so I highly recommend it. It's a really nice loudness meter. Make sure to bypass it when you're not using it though. Okay. So it's pretty much all set. It's just the linear EQ. So like, let's say we just take a section. Let's say we just take, I don't know, like the bridge. What does that sound like? Or the solo. The EQ you're using in mastering, it's like literally like it's to your taste or to the taste of the artist. Like it's not like this is like, you know, when you're listening to music on your boom box and you have like those different types of EQs like jazz, rock, and whatever. Like that's what this is. Like you're just kind of like you're sculpting it. You're giving it like a character. It's not like, you know, EQ to mix. This is like EQ to like, you know, bring out certain things out of the mix that you like and remove things that you don't like so much. Like, you don't want to do too much. I think for me that's enough already. So these have cool presets actually for mastering. I don't know why that's that mastering thing, but anyways, you have like final, let's say final rock compressor. And, you know, in a sense, it's the same thing as an EQ at this point. You can actually just, with one of these presets, like you're just going to be fine tweaking. Turn the auto gain off. So it's like you're EQing. Keep tweaking this later on, but already it kind of like makes it sound a little bit sharper. Cleans up a little bit. And now if we're gonna get the loudness, you know, to industry standard, we open these two guys up. Oh, it's not even on. Okay, so what we're looking for is like, since this is kind of like one of the loudest parts, we're looking for like about 10 LUF, like negative 10 LUFS. Like that's kind of like for the loudest part is kind of like what you're aiming for. It's already pretty close. There you go. That's literally it. So just remember to turn that off because this one like adds some like dirt, you know, to it. It's not nice. Let's just leave it at that. So now if we listen to it with everything off. Okay. So already, like, you can kind of see that it's not that different than the mix, and that's good because, like I said, the mastering is supposed to be very subtle. So what it just doing right now is just like very subtly shaping the final product. And this mastering is gonna be obviously a lot more important when you're working like on an album. Like you're kind of like trying to create a signature sound for the album. Well, the mastering is going to be used to really kind of glue all the tracks together. So that's where you're going to be making your adjustments to make sure that every track kind of sounds like the last track, has the same kind of vibe, you know, even though they might be different stylistically or thematically. Like the mastering at the end is really going to like, it's the candy wrapper. It's just gonna, you know, glue everything together. So obviously there still needs to be work done on this track. The vocals are not done, and you know, just fine tweaking wise in regards to EQ. We only did like basic EQing and stuff, and you know, it still requires a little bit of love. And I really wish we could have finished it during, you know, this episode, but as of now, it's kind of like gonna be going in the dark, this track, where I'm gonna be finishing it with Jean-Francois. We're gonna be exchanging. I'm gonna be sending it to him, and he's gonna tell me what he wants me to work on, and you know, before we actually release the single. So if you wanna, you know, you wanna stay tuned for that, make sure to subscribe to the channel, to the mailing list, follow us on social media. So basically, we're gonna be, you know, I'm going to be promoting this album because you know, I fucking love it, and I'm very invested in it. So I want to make sure to get the word out about this. And so yes, make sure to stay tuned for that. But on the next episodes of you know, the live mixing and mastering workshop, we're going to be mixing and mastering your music. So like I said, some of you have already reached out to me by email. I'm going to be contacting you guys, explaining to you what the process is going to be like. So if you're watching and you didn't get the email, just subscribe to the mailing list. It's on the website. We're going to be, you know, I'm going to be basically like, obviously I can't do everybody, but it's kind of like a first come, first serve basis. So I hope that you guys got a lot out of this episode. We did some stuff that we didn't do in the last one. So that's what I wanted to. I wanted to cover some kind of different topics. It was maybe a little bit more fine tweaking, small details kind of stuff, but super important if you want to like really have professional sounding mixes and professional sounding masters. Yeah, lastly, you know, subscribe to the channel, leave us a comment, like the video, share it with your friends and family, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here with me, and have a good night.